What's something that's influenced you in your art that you've never gotten to talk about before?
Um, One huge thing that's influenced me a lot is I would say 80s to early 2000s movies. Um, Even from like the way that I dress, like you can already see with some of the pictures that I take and shit, very heavily inspired just by that time and like genre. Because the whole coming of age movie was such like a normal thing to do back then. And because of those types of movies, they're always very like emotionally vulnerable. And obviously with my music, kind of put the same thing with my music. So I feel like it always goes hand in hand. Like how with the Volume 1, I use 13 a lot. Love that movie. It's like one of my favorite movies like of all time. So yeah.
When people discover you and your music, what's the first thing you want them to think?
First thing I want them to think is I want them to, I guess not really think would be the right word. I would say feel. Just feel vulnerable. They feel safe, nostalgic, comfortable, all those types of things. Because my music is very emotional and kind of goes back to the whole coming of age thing. It's almost like I make like coming of age type of music. Like I see my fans, they're all around like my same age. I'm 20. So, when I was like on tour and shit, I saw like a bunch of people around my age, and then there was a good chunk of people that are like teenagers, and I can already tell that whenever they grow up, they'll be like, oh yeah, this was like my teenage music. Like I was listening to this, when I was like a teenager, when I was a kid. And yeah, I want them to have that same type of feeling with my music. So
I imagine for some people, like, they go on tour and everyone's much younger or much older, so it's got to be like a good sort of relatable feeling that you're making music for the people in similar parts of their life that you are.
yeah, exactly. Especially with TikTok, how it's mainly a like younger person app. I didn't want some sort of like Steve Lacy situation where it's literally all like 16, 15-year olds all at my parties and shit. So, so yeah, I'm really glad that it's doing that because, there were some times where I've thought, am I making immature music? But, seeing other people my age range, most of them could like my music. I'm like, nah, I'm in the right space. I'm in the right space. I'm not immature. I think I'm aging well with my music. So
You just released a song with Whatsaheart, who we've interviewed before. How did that collaboration come about?
yeah, so that collab earlier in 2024, um, starting around the time when I started picking up steam, mainly from TikTok. He DM'd me a while back. I remember he was around like 20K followers at the time. He just texted me just one sentence. It's like, your music's dope. And that's really it. I just told him thank you, and then never said anything else after that. Um, After Volume 2 released, I wasn't really satisfied with the direction I guess I was going with my music. And I wanted to go back to music that I just felt was more novulent. Because I felt like with Volume 2 is still a good album. It still has really good gems like 2002 and Closure and Soul Ties, obviously. But I just felt like with the whole album, it was more of a I was more of guessing like what people want to hear instead of how like what music I should make and what I feel, because people connect with things that are way more authentic to you. So that's when I made Death Wish. I have a version where it's only me. There's like an extended verse, and I was like, if I want to come back, I want to come back with like a bang. So I thought, yeah, I need a feature, and what's always the first person on my mind. Texted him and shit the second I thought about it. Showed him the song. Thought it was really fucking good, and then he sent his verse in around like a week or so later, and yeah.
What's your most prized possession?
My most prized possession are my two cats, Cairo and Oric. Cairo is the cover for Unknown Feelings, and friend Auric. She's like I think it's called like a tortoiseo. I'm gonna be real. I do not know cap rates. I just know the colors. She's like light.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like light brown and like black fur and shit. So yeah, she's 1 year old and Kyra's 3. Been having them for a while. They're like my fucking support animals almost to an extent. I got them at like a very low time in my life, and honestly, they've kept me strong. So
Do you feel trapped at all by the current system of streaming and algorithms?
um honestly, going up, I would say prior to Savior, because that was when I popped off. I definitely did. Um, I definitely felt like it. The amount of times that I saw other artists, popping up and trending, naturally as an upcoming artist, you're gonna want to be like, well, what I'm doing isn't working, so let me do what other people are doing, and maybe something will catch up. But that never always ends up working now that obviously I'm where I am right now. And it's really just making music that's authentic to you and then just like tripling down on it until you perfect your own sound, which is how Savior was born and every other song that I made. Now I just make music that I think sounds good and that's authentic to me, and other people are immediately gonna, be attracted to it. It's how I just like made it this far, honestly. Even whenever it came to making like Scars, that was such like a different song for the time, but I don't really feel that trapped anymore because um, now I'm just not even just worried, but focused on just finding other people that are pretty much just like me, finding my own people, not necessarily just like the algorithms. Those are fleeting type of songs. So songs will never last. It's always the songs that people will listen to in 3 years plus that'll keep on going. So
Do you think going on tour and meeting your fans in person has freed you at all from the sort of online spaces?
oh yeah, 100%. Especially in the rock scene, um, having like a live audience and just live people, in my opinion, is way better than having like an online presence, or just like having a chronically online fan base, I guess. Because with like people that are in real life that actually like you, they'll fuck with you just for you being you. You're not too worried about, oh, will this do good on Instagram? How can I promote this on TikTok? You're not gonna think that when you have real fans, because when you have the actual IRL fans, it's like you can go on tour, that's gonna do well. You can talk to people that actually like your music. You can really just be yourself. It's the most rewarding feeling that you can feel as an artist. I didn't even feel like a real artist until when I went on my sold out tour. That's when I really felt like, oh yeah, this shit is like real. Like I shouldn't be worried about pleasing like TikTok or anything. And I'm pretty inactive on TikTok for the most part, and that's mainly just because like I'm kind of more or less focused on like the real fans that are actually gonna stick around.
What's the best live show you've ever been to?
For the most part, I'm kind of a shut-in, but I went to like a Ken Carson concert like one time before. I would say that's my most one, because like I've been to other like rock concerts and shit, but most of them are like shoegaze and like you don't really rage or do anything crazy. And I like very hyper energetic concerts, and that's like the most one I've been to. I am gonna see Deftones like next month though, so I feel like that already, like all glaze. I don't give a fuck. That's gonna be like the best live show I've ever been to. So
What other art forms outside of music are you interested in?
a lot of people don't know, but I'm into poetry. Before I made music, I would just write poetry just on my own for fun, and it's probably why I'm able to write lyrics so well. A lot of my songs are actually formatted into poems. If you decide to really just like take all the lyrics and just like put them on a piece of paper, you can really see like a formula that goes into my writing. So very deep into poetry, and also like actual like art, like drawing wise. I can't paint. I fucking suck, but I like to draw, mainly like detailed like manga panels and shit. I used to do that shit all the time. because a part of me was like, if this music shit doesn't work out, I'm gonna be a tattoo artist. Like I'm not gonna work a regular 9 to 5. I'm gonna at least do something creative. So those two art forms for sure. And if you can count it, I do like to cook as well. I mean, some people count food as an art form, but yeah.
That's interesting. I think we've had someone else say that as well, and they said the same thing. Where like, if it counts, food will be one of them.
I mean, yeah,
I
bro.
remember what it was, but yeah, someone said that. It counts. It counts.
Then yeah, definitely food, man. Like I'll be cooking my own meals
Because you're striving.
Yeah, you get real creative too whenever you really start like cooking. Like the basics, and it's like, okay, that's cool, and then you just start experimenting and doing all sorts of shit, and then you're like, damn, this shit really like hits. So yeah, I'll be cooking my own food all the time. So
What sounds and genres would you want to explore in the future?
honestly, right now, I know like with Volume 2 was definitely my most different track, with different like body of work. The most unnovulent album. It was purposely experimental. I was doing, different genres and shit. But honestly, right now, I'm really just trying to focus mainly on shoegaze and also new metal as well, because I feel like those types of genres are what I like doing best. And obviously, if you want to talk about numbers, those do the best as well. But it's always the most fun making those genres. I love making shoegaze and shit, but with the influence that bands have had, like Deftones obviously being easily the biggest influence I've had, making songs like Kisses from a Devil or like Cursed even are just so fucking fun. So yeah. Oh, and then also I guess the pop rock songs that I have, like I would count Euphoria somewhat, with it has some like shoegaze influence in there. 2002 is pretty much the most pop rock type of song you could get. And then same with Inner Peace as well. So really just doubling down on those three genres for the most part for like future songs and shit. And you could really see that within Before Evolution, like the EP I dropped. So
Who should we interview next?
Honestly, y'all should interview Quantic. He's pretty cool. I don't usually co-sign a lot of people, but Quantic's pretty cool. That or Violent Vera. She's also really dope.
Anything else you want to say or anything you want to mention before the end?
Honestly, thank you Novas for, selling out my tour and shit. I'm already planning on some other shit, so stay tuned for that. I'm still working on the album, Evolution, still am, making sure that that's the best, most complete body of work possible, but until then, keep streaming Before Evolution EP, man. Y'all are fucking killing it. I fucking love you guys, Novas. See y'all later.